Hi, everybody. This is GM John Fedorowicz. Welcome to my SimulMaster August of 2017 Simul. We should be getting started shortly. Last month, I told everybody that I would play black this month, and that's what I'm doing. It makes the Simul harder for me, although I think my second best result in the Simul was where I was playing the black pieces. So good luck to everybody. Hope you enjoy the Simul. Have a good time. Take your time. Try not to play too many unsound openings. That is from my friend Ears. Also, welcome to the newcomers of the Simul. A lot of the people I've played before, and some people are first timers. So have a good time. We'll get started any second here. And 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 Sandro says, "Good luck with your games and do not cheat, please." So that's pretty funny. And so let's get started. Congratulations to Maxime Vachier-Lagrave on winning the Singfield Cup. Nice score. Also, I played in the U.S. Open last week in Norfolk, Virginia. And congratulations to Alex Lenderman scoring 8 out of 9 and winning it clear. So he earns the right to play in the U.S. Championship. And playing in the U.S. Championship, as strong as it is, especially with the big three playing, as we call them, with Nakamura playing and Wesley So and Fabiano Caruana. Okay, so going through the openings here. And I hear Sandro sounds like he's watching a soccer game. Maybe Sandro's in. Yeah, I hear Sandro in the background there. Somebody must have just scored a goal. Who knows who's? I don't know who's playing though. Okay, Ears is. I think Ears is. I'm playing him white the first time. Ears started off the Simuls playing with the black pieces in the style of the great Canadian player Duncan Suttles, which nowadays might not be a good thing because Duncan Suttles was, if you look up his games, he was famous for playing very unsound, kind of crazy openings with names like the Rat and the Hippopotamus and stuff like that. So we'll see. Ears has been playing very sound chess lately, and that's a very good thing. So hopefully Ears can keep that up. All right, so let's see what's going on here. I think I'm going to, let's see, I might play some, I got a London system going. Moving Dutchman is a tough opponent. I got a, looks like we have Trompovsky against Liebman's Pawn and Cybernian. So I think every now and then, I still play the Benko. I still think it's a decent opening. Shavkat and Agarnez, handshake, thanks for the game. Anytime, absolutely. And Jay Russell, too. And once in a lifetime. So going through the openings, Fierce Astro has says he was watching this soccer match, the one with Sandro yelling in the background, I guess. I don't know. I had a soccer match on here, too. I thought it was two English teams playing. I'm not good. I watch the American teams play, but I'm not good at the Premier League and stuff like that. So, but I do like soccer nowadays, and I always watch the national team. Okay, so Coffee Mate is playing. Waiting for his first move. He's going D4. So we got a few D4s. Let's see. No Mercy for You. I take on D4. Open Sicilians. Shamax has gone E4, C5, F4, D5. He played E5. So we're getting into some sort of Grand Prix attack. Chisel is playing white. The boards are jumping around. I hope everything's okay. Sometimes we have technical difficulties. Also, the computer freezes sometimes. So if all of a sudden I don't exist, wait for me. I'll be back. Hopefully it won't happen, though. London system with Duke Bishop. Brian Wood, I'm going to try. Hi, Brian Wood. How you doing? I'm going to try see if I can get a Benko going. Always good to get those Benkos going. Oh, Cybernian says he saw a picture of me and Lombardi. It was a good picture, actually. William Lombardi, Fisher's coach and living legend, somebody I'd played a few times over the years, and pretty good friends with. Visited the U.S. Open, and took a nice picture with me and Joel. Everybody was very nice to call us living legends and whatnot, so that was very nice of them. And it was an excellent picture, and it's nice to see Lombardi. He looked like he was doing well, and that's good. Okay, so let's see, Shamax. We're getting into a French defense where you get the bishop outside the chain is always a good thing. Eternal Warrior's gone bishop b5 check. I always reply bishop to d7 there. KM 1883 also bishop b5 check. Once in a lifetime, possibly a closed Sicilian. Duke bishop with the London system. And Argarnez, I'm going to try see if I can get some Benkos going. Okay, moving Dutchman. Feels like maybe another Catalan or something like that. Ears, I started off the Grunfeld with Ears, and Ears played the very interesting 3F3, which if you're playing a Samish is a good thing to play against the absolutely a good thing to play. Okay, so let's see. So that was the soccer match with Brighton, and let me see. Sometimes I watch baseball during this. I would never do a simul when I was watching a NY Giants football game because you never know when the cursing might start, and that's probably not a good thing for ICC. Probably not a good thing for anybody. All right, let's check out Fierce Astro here. I'm going to try let's test him on something here. Jay Russell could be a Queen's Indian. Brian Wood's got knight f3. And now, so d4, knight f6, c4, c5, knight f3. Kasparov was famous for going pawn takes pawn, knight takes pawn, and then e5, and won a lot of nice games with that. I never fully trusted it. Kasparov could get away with stuff because, the main reason Kasparov could get away with stuff is that he's Kasparov, and that's pretty much the story with that. And, okay, so let's get through these open, and got the Benko against Cybernian. I always take back on d7 in the Rossolimo because I feel like I take back on d7 with the knight. Of course, I'm taking back on d7. And because I feel like in a hedgehog positions, it's better suited to have the knights on d7 and f6. So, okay, let's see. Duke Bishop has gone h3, and I'll go h6. I think he was after my bishop there. I'm going to play a knight off against No Mercy for You. Play another knight off, so got some nice knight offs coming. Cybernian has, and Cybernian, where did you see the picture of Kasparov shopping at Fairway? I live about 50 feet away from the Fairway, and I've seen Kasparov there a couple of times. So it's interesting that Kasparov does shop at he lives, I think, on West End and a little while. So. And Fierce Astro, don't worry, I have a good memory. I know who I know who it is. So okay, so let's see what's happening. Shamax is castled, and now I have to develop. Just knight e7 seems okay there. And now Duke Bishop has gone a4. What is this about? I'm not sure what a4 is about there. I think I'm going to go a5 and stop whatever he's trying to do. And see how the squares are. All right, ears we've transposed into a Samish. Strangely enough, I like playing I play the Samish myself, but when I'm black, the Samish was one of the few variations I actually like to play against. So I don't know if that makes any sense. Coffee Mate, we're getting into Queen's Indians. A lot of Sicilians. Okay, Shavkat went g3. I've gone g3 against the knight off. Also, decent opening. And Fierce Astro has gone d5, and he wonders, how can I play 20 games in broadcast and do the comment? I don't know. I mean, it's pretty easy. And I'm watching a soccer game and a baseball game all at the same time. So let's see what happens here against Fierce Astro. I'm going to take on d5. It's become a Benoni. And let's see. Okay, Shamax has gone d4, and now I think I want to take this on d4. Eternal Warrior, and lots of solid games here. Rook e1 from Duke Bishop, and I'll play Bishop e7. That's in the so I got a couple of tough games going with the London system. So Benoni against Fierce Astro, and I think c5 against Shamax looks like a good move. Make him take the bishop, take back. Brian Wood, not sure what that is. Maybe we'll get into some kind of Grunfeld sort of thing. Knight c6, a4 from Chisel, who hasn't gone into an open Sicilian yet. Coffee mate c5 could be some kind of London system story. Okay, Cybernian's gone b6, and let's see. So Cybernian must live near me because he said he's seen Kasparov in the fairway. So I live on 73rd Street, so near the fairway. Knight c3 from Cybernian, and I had I played b6 myself, and you could look up the miserable game where I lost to Shabalov. So that falls into the category of you can't beat him, join him, right? So that's the story with that one. Okay, let's see, Coffee Mate. Very solid positions. I feel like I'm coming out of these openings okay so far. D5 against Eternal Warrior, normal position. Knight takes Bishop from Shamax. I think I look okay there. I've had a lot of experience playing against the G3 Knight, or if you look it up in a database, I have so many games against Alexander Ivanov that it's unbelievable. Just a lot of games with that one. Okay, let's see what Levin's pawn is doing. He just went e3. Usually when in the Trompowsky, when knight e4 happens, White retreats with bishop to f4, but he's retreated in the other direction. I'm just going to try c6, play normal stuff, and rolling through it. So, okay, no mercy for you. Has gone g4. h3 against the knight off, kind of like a carries attack type of position, except with a tempo less because you had to play h3. Carries attack is a very dangerous thing again, and basically put the Scheveningen move order out of business, and the knight off move order is always okay. Now let's see what Duke Bishop is trying to do to me here. He's gone bishop to c3, and I'm going to go knight b d7. Fierce Astro is playing white in the Benoni. Let's see if he remembers what to do. Moving Dutchman, we're in the opening still in a London system. Brian Wood, I'm going to go d5. I think that might transpose me into a good Grunfeld. f4 from Shafkat. I'm going to castle. That could be one of those positions where we're getting into a pawn storm. Knight e4 from Eternal Warrior. b6 also from Agornez. And Jay Russell has gone knight b d2, c5. And g4 from Shamax. Interesting. So I think that I'll just retreat my knight back to e7, keep it near my king. All right, now let's see what Duke Bishop is up to here. I'm going to move my bishop back to h7, anticipating e4. Once in a lifetime has gone h3. I think in this type of closed Sicilian setup, where the bishop can't go to g4, I think I always go for e6 and knight g e7. Okay, so I would like to say hello to the school that I work at. I don't know how many of my students are watching here, or I know one of them is playing, and that's my school, Spire, which is on 59th Street, 9th Avenue in New York City, a very nice place to work. Okay, and Cybernian has gone a4, and now I must take on, I have to take this pawn on b6 now. What's the best way to take it? Is it best to take with the knight or the queen? I think taking with the queen is best. Also, a5 is interesting, but then the b5 square could be a problem. I've had these kinds of positions, and I'm not really sure what to do. I think I'm going to try a5 actually and see. So he'll get the b5 square. Okay, bishop mate. We're going to be in a Sozin. I'll go e6. Queen c2 from Jester. Queen c2 Nimzo Indian, a very solid Nimzo Indian, one of the best Nimzo Indians. And now Shafkat is starting up with the pawn storm, and I have to get ready for the pawn storm by going rook e8 and bishop f8. In case he rushes me, I can prepare knight to e5. That's the procedure when you play against these pawn storm things. And now once in a lifetime is trying to pawn storm me too, although it's a little bit different in the closed Sicilian positions because he doesn't have a lot of development. I'm wondering if I should go h5 and try and bother him, or maybe I think I'm going to try knight to d4. That's a thematic move in these Queen's Indian types of positions. Okay, Shamax is going in for a fast attack here with f5, and I did not consider that, but he doesn't have a lot of pieces developed, so I have to be a little careful. I think I'm going to go knight to c6 and try and get myself castled there. All right, now Duke Bishop has gone e4, and it's a weird looking setup with his bishop on c3. I'm looking at knight c5 and to see how he wants to develop there. So knight c5 looks like the right thing for me to do. Eternal Warrior, I'm castling. That's already probably an equal position. Chisel, I think I can go bishop to g4 and pin his knight and get that bishop out of the chain before developing. And like I said, you get those French defense positions with the bishop outside the chain. That's pretty good. And let's see. Now Fierce Astro has castled, and I'm going to try rook e8. I'm going to castle against J. Russell. Coffee Mate is about to go e4, I think, and I think I can go d5 in that kind of position. The d5 in those positions, when the bishop's on d3, white can get a dangerous attack going, but I think in that other position, I feel like with his bishop where it is, there's no attack. Okay, Jester has gone a3. I think I go, now let's see, is that a pawn takes pawn? I think I go bishop takes c3 there. I'm going to go, now when in my game with Moving Dutchman, when I have this London system, I always have to keep on an eye on when is knight h4 becoming a move. So I'm going to go h6 there so that I keep my bishop. All right, Eternal Warrior's gone rook c1. I've had this position a few times in tournament games, and I've always gone knight b6. Pawn takes pawn from Shamax. Cybernian has gone e4, and I am going to go g6. And now let's see what Once in a Lifetime is up to here. I could discombobulate him by going knight takes knight, and then queen h4 check, but then I risk the... it's risky to keep my queen on an h4. So I have to see, is that a good thing to do? All right, I'm going to go knight takes knight and see if I could get his king out there. Okay, Aguarnez has gone a4 also, and I have to take on, I'm going to try taking on b6 in that one. Bishop f4 from Fierce Astro, and I'm going to go a6. And QY has just showed up, and he's played e4, so yet another Sicilian. Okay, Shavkat has gone with f5 really fast, and now I have to see what to do here. I guess I just go bishop to f8. I need to go knight to d7 on g5, and I need my e-pawn defended. Okay, let's see. Moving Dutchman, I'll just develop. Bishop to d3 from Lieben's pawn, and let's see what to do there. I am going to go queen to b6. a4, knight c3 coming out for Aguarnez. And I'm going to try, we're rolling through the openings here. Bishop takes f6 from Duke Bishop, a little surprising. I don't see why. I go bishop takes f6. Bishop g5 from Bishop Mate. And I break the pin with bishop e7, looks right. Shavkat seems to be in a hurry here. He's really going fast with the attack. I retreat knight d7. Coffee Mate has gone knight e5, and now I'm going to see if I can get rid of that knight with knight on f to d7. Looks like a pretty equal position. Cybernian's gone knight f3. I'll go bishop g7. I remember writing an article a long time ago about Sicilians. I said, anytime you're black in a Sicilian and you can force the d4 knight back to b3, queen b6 is a good idea. So that's what I did in the No Mercy for You game. Fierce Astro is playing the opening very well here. And this is my game. I played a nice game against Sevion in the U.S. In the Canadian Open. Sorry, a few years back. Okay, let's see what once in a lifetime wants here. Should I go queen to h4 check? Then he'll probably trade queens. I'm going to try just knight e7 and see how that one goes. Jester has done something a little bit inconsistent. Jester has taken back with the pawn on c3, and I thought the whole idea of the of playing against the queen c2 thing in the Nimzo Indian was that the reason the queen was on c2 was so that double pawns didn't have to happen. So it's a little bit inconsistent play there. Okay, J. Russell, g4 from Chisel. I move my bishop back. E5 from Duke Bishop. I move my bishop back. D4 from KM 1883. We're getting into a hedgehog type of position, and a bishop b5. Let's see, a4, knight f3 from Agornez, bishop to g7. Pawn takes pawn from Shavkat. I reply. It seems like everything looks under control there. And now let's see what to do against Lieben's pawn. Can I go bishop to f5 there and get my bishop outside the chain before playing e6? Let's try that. Moving Dutchman has gone knight e5. I will castle. And now Duke Bishop has gone d4. And now where do I go with my knight is a good question here. Do I want my knight back on d7? Do I want to put it into e4? Do I need to keep a pair of knights on the board, one knight on the board for counterplay? Sometimes that's true. All right, I'm going to retreat the knight to d7 and see what I could do to him afterwards. Bishop mate, I'm going to castle. And it looks like it's going to be a sharp game. And now, for once in a lifetime, here's the deal. When is he going to play f5 himself? So if I think he's about to play f5, maybe I should do f5. So I'm going to play f5 and stop his f5. Okay, Brian Wood has gone pawn takes pawn. And I'm going to take on c4. That looks like the Grunfeld thing. Coffee mate. We're in a pretty equal position there. Same thing from J. Russell. It's the same game, I think. Okay, we got bishop d2 for Fierce Astro. And now I'm just going to develop with knight to d7. Bishop h7 for moving Dutchman. Bishop f4 from Chisel. Just develop nice with e6. Knight d2 retreating from Agornez. That's sort of what Shablov's done, and I've won a lot of games with black also in this stuff, with white, sorry, in this stuff. So, okay, now let's see, knight to d2 from Cybernian. I'm going to castle, kingside, and now bishop f1 from Duke Bishop. So, I don't know, maybe he felt I was going to go b5. I wasn't really sure if I was going to go b5, to tell you the truth, but now that he stopped it, I'm starting to look at it. If I go c5, I'm a little worried about the b5 square. So I'm thinking of maybe trying queen to b8 or maybe rook to b8 trying to go b5. I'm going to investigate this b5 thing. It looks like it could be something to do. So I'm going to go queen to b8 and see if b5 was an idea. He kind of put it in my head when he stopped it. So I wasn't really thinking about it. Okay, castles from bishop mate. And now the big question here is... When you're black in a Sozin, you always want to keep an eye on these sacrifices on e6. Usually in the middle game, the pieces are better than the pieces are stronger than the rook and the pawn. So I can't go knight b d7 yet, so I'm looking at bishop b7 or queen c7. I think queen c7 seems reasonable. Okay, g5 from No Mercy for You. So I have a couple of games where I'm getting pawn stormed. And I actually have grown to like playing those positions with all of the games I had against Alexander Ivanov, which were some really hard games, but kind of fun. And I wasn't a Najdorf player all the time like my friend GM Nick DeFermian, who was really a Najdorf player. I played other Sicilians, but against Alexander Ivanov, I felt like his opening repertoire was a little shaky because he's such a great attacking player, and it just felt weird that he was doing something like g3. Okay, let's see. Fierce Astro playing all right in the opening, although instead of bishop d2, bishop g5 hitting the queen was a better place to keep the bishop. Trying maybe to provoke f6 or sending the queen to another place, and that seems okay. Now I have to see what's going on here against Fierce Astro. I think I'm going to go knight to e5. Looks like a thematic kind of thing to do. No Mercies attack my queen. I drop it back to c7. Moving Dutchman has gone queen to e2, and I feel like knight b to d7 is the right thing to do. And now Shavkat's coming in fast. He played queen h5, and it looks like I should go g6. He's attacking my rook and threatening queen to f7 check. g6 stops both of them. Bishop e3 from once in a lifetime. I'm going to castle. Let's see. Eternal Warrior. Could be lots of trades about to happen on the c-file. I'm wondering if I should go knight to c4 first, just to bother him a little bit. Or am I happy to trade? I think I'm happy to trade on the c-file there and just get some kind of advantage going. All right, Brian Wood has gone bishop takes c4. He's up a pawn for the moment, and I have to see here. I would like to get the pawn back. It's the pawn on c5, so I'm considering knight to d7 just to work to get it back. Coffee mate. I'm going to go bishop to d5. Make sure there are no tricks in the diagonal. I'm going to protect my bishop there. Let's see, rook fe1 from Fierce Astro. And now I'm looking to see, does bishop f5 or do anything? I think the normal thing for me to do is take on f3 and just retreat. Okay, let's see, knight c4 from, Siberian. I think you should say hello to Kasparov. I one time when I was in there with him, he was talking to people who actually knew who he was, which I was surprised at a little bit, actually. Normal people know who Kasparov is. Okay, knight c3 from Shamax. Now, Shamax, who's attacking who here? My king is a little open, but I feel like I'm defending okay. I'm going to see if I could just go bishop to e7. I can't castle through his rook, obviously, so my king might be in the middle. Okay, moving Dutchman has gone knight takes knight. Now, do I want to recapture with the knight, or do I want to recapture with the queen? It's a good question. I think I'm going to take it back with the knight. Okay, Eternal Warrior, this is where we're getting into all the trades on the c-file. I'm just going to go h6, give myself air. Pawn takes pawn from Chisel, e5 from Chisel, and I think probably I should reply pawn takes pawn. Looks okay. J. Russell, I'm going to go knight to d7. Shavkat has retreated his queen, and I'm going to go bishop to g7. Make sure there's no tricks with knight takes e6. I don't think so. And now bishop mate has gone a3. And sometimes when you play these positions, white has to avoid being, a little lazy with this a3 stuff. I think I'm coming out of this in good shape. I'm just going to go knight b d7. Queen takes d4 from KM. Let's see what's happening here. Once in a lifetime's gone rook to f2. I'm going to go rook to b8. Get my get off that diagonal. Knight takes knight against Chisel. Bishop takes f3 from Fierce Astro. Now, Fierce Astro's threatening to take my knight, and there's no Yankee score yet because the game starts in an hour and a half. So otherwise the Yankee game would be on instead of this Pittsburgh Pirates against the Toronto Blue Jays. Okay, h4 from moving Dutchman. Now, what is he up to here? Trying for an attack in this type of position? I'm not so sure. I'm just going to go a5, get some queenside counterplay going. b5 from No Mercy for you. And now a tricky move from Shamax, g5. I'm just going to go g6 and stop him. Bishop f4 from Coffee Mate. And now, against Coffee Mate, what should I do here? I'm thinking about knight f6, trying to trade a lot of stuff to work on his isolated pawn. I think that's probably a right idea when your opponent has that isolated d-pawn with no attack. It seems like it's the right thing to do. Okay, Duke Bishop has gone knight to b3, which stops me from going b5. So whether we know what we're doing here or not is not completely clear to me. We both seem to be under the impression that b5 is the right idea. And now I have to see if I really want to persist in this b5 thing. I'm going to go rook c8, which seems like a decent sort of move anyway. Okay, Brian Wood's gone rook to d1. And I'm thinking, can I just go knight takes c5? That was my intention, so I'm going to do it. Chisel's gone bishop takes e5. And now, should I send him backwards with knight to d7? I think so. I was sort of afraid of bishop e7, g5, hitting my g7 pawn. So I'm just going to go knight d7 and send him back. Movement Dutchman has gone a4 to stop the advance of my pawn. And I have to see. I'm having some interesting ideas here. Was wondering about bishop to b4 to see if there's some kind of thing I could provoke. Also, something like queen c7 could be a move. Bishop f6 to provoke e5, but I don't know. Will e5 help him? I'm going to try bishop to f6 and see if that does something. All right. f4 from bishop mate, and now I'm looking to see knight to c5 seems like a reasonable move for me there. Hitting the pawn looks thematic. And bishop to g2. And let's see. And so Fierce Astro, we'll see. We'll try to move fast. So far, he's playing the game okay. I'm trying to see, should I provoke? Do I want to provoke e4 in this type of position with bishop to f5? Is a good question. All right, I'm going to try rook to b8. Knight b3 from Shavkat. I'm happy to put that. See, when white rushes the attack, then knight e5 is a great place for the knight. That's a really good knight. Okay, ears, knight g2. I go c5. What's with all this tripling on the F file once in a lifetime? Is this scaring me? I'm just going to go b6. I'm not scared. J. Russell 2, queen takes d7, queen takes b6 from Cybernian. I just wrote an article in the American Chess Foundation. Now, hold on here. What is going on here with knight d5 for no mercy for you? I didn't think about this, and now I have to see, why can't I just take that knight and just develop? I mean, that would be the brave thing to do. Pawn takes, knight e5, I don't know. Knight e5, he might. I do get a very strong knight established on e5. Queen back to d8 does not look terrible. But the knight still remains there. I feel like I should take this knight and then see. All right, I'm going to take the knight and see what happens. Okay, rook takes d8 from Brian Wood. I got my pawn back, and my bishops are out. Okay, e4 from Fierce Astro, and Fierce Astro probably should not have let me go b5 like that. He probably should have played a4 himself. Okay, let's see what's happening here against J. Russell. I'm going to go pawn takes pawn. Which pawn takes pawn, though, is a good question. I'm going to take the one on e4. Okay, I'm going to play against Coffee Mate. I'm going to go knight to... Do I want to go knight to d5? Looking for a good knight versus a bad bishop possibility. I'm going to try bishop to b4. Some sort of thematic kind of thing there. Okay, bishop c4. I'm going to go bishop a6. Knight c5. Now, hold on, bishop mate. What happened here? Bishop mate. I just went knight c5. I seem to be attacking his queen, and he looks like he forgot. So, knight takes d3 looks like a good move for me, doesn't it? All right, now Shamex is going h4. I would be very happy if I could put my king somewhere. All right, I'm going to go knight to d4, try and put my knight on f5 so I could get my king to safety. All right, Agornez, knight d2, playing like I did against Shabalov. I'm going to go... he's going to get knight c4 with a tempo. So... Let's see, my queen, I think my queen should be going to b7 in that position. Bishop e3 from Shavkat. Now my other knight comes to c6, supporting the one on e5. I really like my position here. Chisel has left his bishop on e5. I think that I'm going to take that bishop and then just try to develop myself. All the rooks are getting traded in the Eternal Warrior game. Now, no mercy for you. Here's the question here for me. If I go knight e7, can I unravel? Okay, I'm going to try knight e7 just to keep the peace. Pawn takes pawn against Fierce Astro. Let's see. Queen c7 looks normal against KM 1883. Now, how do I give an isolated pawn to Jay Russell here? I'd like that. Like to give him an isolated pawn. It might not be that easy. I think I'm just going to go pawn takes d4 and see if I can give him an isolated pawn. Okay, moving Dutchman's gone bishop takes f6, and I guess I want to take back with the queen. H4 from Shafkat, pawn storm. Now, what's my best way to develop here against Shafkat? B5 must be the right thing to do. Coffee Mate has gone queen d3. I'm going to take on c3 and see if I can establish a good knight versus a bad bishop type of position. HGY, I don't know why it didn't come to the board here. It's the slowest moving game ever. Shafkan has gone h5. And now I have to see, I'm looking at knight c4 stuff. Although sometimes I don't want to move that knight off of c4, but knight c4 looks okay going after his bishop. Going b5 against Fierce Astro. Check against Coffee Mate. Queen takes b7 against Jay Russell. Rolling through the openings here. It feels like my positions are okay. Now, against Moving Dutchman, I'm going to stick my queen on c3 and see if that can bother him a little bit. Knight f3 from Liebman's pawn. I'll just go e6. Queen takes d4 from Jay Russell. I'm going to gain some time by attacking his queen, although the pawn structure is so solid. Knight d5 from Brian Wood. I'm coming back with knight c6. Rook c1. Moving Dutchman defended himself. And now I have to see what is my plan here. I think I'm going to go knight back to f6. And here comes Shamax with knight e2. I'm going to go knight to f5. And I have to keep an eye on this business. If he does this business with knight f4 and h5, what's going on is the question. All right, I'm going to go knight f5 and just defend. I think I'm happy there. Coffee Mate, I'm going to go rook c8 and stop his c4. I'm going for a good knight versus a bad bishop. Fierce Astro wonders if he's losing. I'm not sure about if he's losing, but he should not have let b5 happen, and he should have gone bishop g5 instead of bishop d2. I think when Fierce Astro learns this opening, he's going to do very well against the Benoni. But this shows the importance of playing the opening well. You know, you don't want to get into a bad position. I mean, people at my school know me as some kind of opening guy, which I guess I don't really mind, but that's the way chess has become, I guess, right? I mean, you could see all these guys in tournaments like the Sinkfield Cup. Everybody has, pretty good openings. Okay, knight f4 from Shamax. Now, against Shamax, I'm really wondering if my king is nice and safe on either f7 or even d7. So this is the question here. So my knight on f5, I'm very happy about the knight. So the question now is, what do I do with the king? Also, queen d7 feels like an extremely normal move to play, just protecting the pawn. So I think I'm going to go for queen d7 and try to stay solid. Bishop takes a6, queen takes a6 against Cybernian. Jester has gone knight f3, and I'm going to go d6, maybe set up some kind of blockade variation. Queen g4 from Jay Russell, and I guess, let's see now, this one could really turn into a whole lot of nothing fast. I'm going to go rook to d5, rook e1 from Moving Dutchman, and at what moment should I take on e4? I always tell my students not to break the chain by taking an e4. So I'm thinking of just going rook to d8. Maybe if I can get him to take back on d4 with a piece, e4 with a piece, then maybe I'll do it. Okay, rook e5 from Coffee Mate. I'm happy to offer a trade of queens on c4. b3 from Fierce Astro. And now I have to see bishop to a6 looks pretty nice. And so I'm getting very active. That turned out to be a pretty active Benoni for me. Chisel's gone knight e4. I'll retreat with queen c7. And Jay Russell has threatened mate. And I'm happy just to go bishop f6 or bishop f8. Which one is better for me? I think I'm just going to go bishop to f6 and defend the mate like that. And probably I'm doing all right there. Okay, moving Dutchman has gone e takes d5. I'm going to take back with the c pawn and try and work on the open c file a little bit. Agornez is playing the opening very well. And remember, and always bringing back bad memories of my game with Shabalov. Okay, Fierce Astro, have I come up with a good move here? Bishop to d4. Bothering him on the f2 square. How does he defend that? Okay, Ears has castled queenside. A very sharp solution. And now I have to see. I'm thinking I'm supposed to go queen a5 here and try and get b5 going. Okay, h6 from Shafkat. And I have all kinds of ideas here against Shafkat. I think I just retreat with bishop h8. Rook d8, rook d1 from Jay Russell. I'll go with rook to d8. Let's see, knight f3 from Moving Dutchman. And now, with Moving Dutchman, I have to make sure. I don't know if he's trying to set up some sack on e6. I'm thinking I'm just going to go knight to d7 and stop knight e5. I don't even know if knight e5 does anything. Okay, coffee mate, I'm very happy. I think I have a position that I want. Good knight versus bad bishop situation looks very nice for me. Queen c2 from Cybernian protecting his pawn. And now I have to see any provoking of anything here. He wants to go knight to b5, of course, and he's protecting his e-pawn. And then I have to see if I can get rid of this knight once it gets into b5. I'm looking at stuff like queen c4 to see if I can keep him from castling. And I don't know. b3 bothers me a little bit. So I think I'm going to try queen c4 actually and see if provoking something is nice. King h2 from Once in a Lifetime. Queen d7. Closed Sicilian position. I think I'm happy here. Probably black should be a little better. Rook takes d5. I'm going to go queen takes d5 against Jay Russell. Take possession of the only open file. Agornez has got me bottled up nicely here. I think I'm going to go rook to b8. Let's see. KM 1883, that's a typical hedgehog kind of deal. And now Fierce Astro is officially losing. I believe that I just go bishop takes f2. And what's he going to do? Is he going to give up the queen? Rook f2 from Shafkat. And Shafkat, I think, do I want to take on b2 and just collapse him? I'm looking to make sure there's nothing funny going on. I think I'm going to capture b2 and see how it goes. Okay, queen b4 against Cybernian. Bishop g5 from Jester. I go knight g6. Queen e3 from Moving Dutchman. And I'm gonna offer Moving Dutchman a queen trade on c5. I'm happy with my counterplay there. All right, I have possession of the only open file against Jay Russell. I'm going to go h5, but it's still very hard to do. HQY, I don't know what we're doing in this game. Okay, looks like Fierce Astro has given me a rook. And h5 from Shamax. And now, I thought I might have had bishop takes. Can I do bishop takes g5 here? Or does he have various tricks? Castle and queenside is really, both kings would be wide open. Or should I just play the simple rook to g8 here and just defend my pawn? King f7 was my intention, but I don't know. I'm scared of my king there. So I think I'm going to just go rook to g8 and defend my g-pawn. Okay, we got Cybernian has gone bishop to d2. And now I'm looking at stuff like c4. I think I'm going to give c4 a try. It makes sense to play aggressive there. Okay, let's see. Jester bishop e2. I go h6. It seems like nothing bad has happened to me yet on any of the boards. Now, what is Chisel up to? Chisel may be trying to do some F4, F5 thing to me. I'm wondering if I'm going fast, if I go queen to A5, if I castle, he might have H4. The Chisel is presenting some interesting problems. I'm going to try queen to A5 against Chisel and just act like nothing's wrong. Shafkat has played E5 against me, a very interesting move. And now, what's going on? I'm thinking, can I just go D5? Does he have any sacks? All right, I'm going to go D5. It's becoming a very exciting game. Moving Dutchman has gone knight to D4. Maybe he can use that B5 square, or maybe he can use the B5 square a little bit. And also, he's shutting my bishop out. So I got to see what to do. I think I'm going to try knight to B8 and see if I could reorganize there. All right, so looks like Fierce Astro's in trouble here. And he's attacking my bishop. I think I'm just going to go rook A8 and defend my bishop, maybe create some tricks. Jay Russell's gone queen A4, threatening to take a pawn on A7. I'm just going to go rook to D7, unless I got some other stuff in mind here. I don't know. I'm going to try H4 against Jay Russell, some one-piece attack. See how that one goes. Okay, coffee mate. I'm going to establish a strong knight on D5. Let's see, bishop F3 after once in a lifetime. I feel like rook A8. I'm just playing all the normal sort of moves in the closed Sicilian. Pawn takes pawn from Shamax. Jester retreated with bishop D2. I will castle. And now let's see what's happening with ears. I'm going to go pawn to B5. Game's getting very sharp. All right, Duke Bishop has gone C3, and man, I really wish I could go B5. I think that's what I was trying to do, but it seems like we're both kind of stopping it. Although I'm not really sure what he's doing in this position, so I'm just going to go B6 and see if I could go slowly. All right, Jay Russell just snatched a pawn, and what's happening after I go H3? Rook to B8 from Rook to B1 from Fierce Astro. And I'm just going to get my bishop back to C3 and play like nothing happened. We have Rook B1 from Cybernian, and I'm going to take on C4 and open it up. And now what's going on here against Eternal Warrior? I'm going to take on C3, and I think maybe black's a little better there. Okay, and Chisel has gone F5, and I'm going to try pawn to B, just pawn up. Agarnez has gone A5. Agarnez is doing a good job with this opening. Now my knight comes towards B5, I guess. And what do I want to do here against Jester? Thinking about the usual routine here is to play for F5. So I'm just going to try knight H7 and see if I can get F5 in. Okay, Jay Russell's gone king F1. And I'm going to go queen H1. I think I get a rook there. Okay. Controversial from Shamax. Knight takes G6. Can I just go rook takes G6 and then defend myself? I'm going to try that. Well, hold on. Rook takes G6. And then he goes, this one is not completely clear. Rook takes G6, queen H5, king F7. Now, if I was scared here, I would castle queenside. But I don't know. I have to see. When he goes queen check and I have to go rook to G7. And then he goes queen H7, I go rook G7, and then he goes G6 check, and I go king F8. He goes check, and I think maybe I can walk out of that. All right, I'm going to take it. I'm going to be brave and take it. Okay, knight A4 against Eternal Warrior looks pretty normal. Knight D2 from Lieben's pawn. And I'm going to go knight to D6. I have to figure out what's my development there. All right, now, Cybernian has gone queen takes. And now I have to see here. I could just trade, and maybe trading and going rook to B8. He can't go knight B5. And I don't know. I'm looking at the greedy move for me here would be rook to b8. Which rook to b8, though? I'm going to try, let's see, if I try rook, I'm going to try rook on a to b8. And see how that one goes. Trying to take advantage of the development a little bit. Okay, so that's what we're doing with Shamax. We're into that variation that I analyzed. Let's see what's going on with Eternal Warrior. I think I like my position. Movement Dutchman has played a good move here, c4, and now I'm looking to see can I go? I was thinking I had knight c6 here, but not so sure about that. So I'm just going to go. Let's see what to do here. He wants to take on d5, discovered attack. And I'm going to see here, if I go knight c6, he takes. And if I take back with a queen, he gets discovered attack. So that's not going to be good. Knight c6, knight takes c6 is sort of interesting. Queen takes e3. But then he goes knight e7. So I don't know what to do here. I think I have to take on c4. Okay, Fierce Astro has gone bishop to b2. I think I'm very happy to trade those guys. King back for Shamax. King back for Shamax. And now I think, did I overlook? Well, I don't know. I have king to e8 against Shamax. Was not my original intention. So I think I have to do that. That was not my original intention at all, but it seems like maybe I'm okay. All right, Eternal Warrior. I think I just want to take a pawn here and make a pass. I'm very happy about outside pass pawns. Okay, Brian Wood has managed to get his knight all the way to e8. Is this a good thing to do? And I would like to see if I could catch his knight. What's he trying to do to me here? Should I go just bishop h8? I think I'm now. I have bishop e6 is an interesting move. I think I'm just going to go bishop h8 and see what he's up to. Rook g2 from once in a lifetime. A lot of maneuvering with the rooks. At what moment should I go d5? I think I'm going to go d5 right now. I like it. Okay, now Shavkat has gone rook a f1. This game has gotten very sharp. I'm going to bring my knight back to c4 and try to play a little defense. What's the deal with his sacrifice on d5 though? Is a good question. Queen takes e5 might be my best move. I don't want to be greedy and snatch pawns, but maybe it's the right thing to do. So let's see. And he's going to try to sacrifice. So I'm going to go queen takes e5. And try to defend there. Okay, bishop d3 from Jester. I'm going to go f4 and try and make an attack. Okay, Brian Wood has gone rook to b1. And after bishop f5, that looks like I got a double attack going. Okay, now let's see. Rook takes c4. I'm going to go queen to b6 against moving Dutchman. And f5 from Chisel. And I'm going to take his bishop on c4. I think Chisel might have gone a little bit too fast there. Now look at this move from Shamax. Shamax has gone rook to f5. And what's going on here? I take his queen. And what is he doing here? All right, now I moved my king already, so I can't castle. That's a real situation. So now what's the score here? Can I go bishop to f8? So I tried for a safe move there. All right, bishop takes d3 against Lieben's pawn. It's nice to have some solid games in addition to the crazy ones. Okay, rook b1 from Fierce Astro. I'm just going to go bishop to b5. My idea is going to be to double on the file and just try and win the game. All right, rook e2 from Coffee Mate. I could take the pawn on c3, which is probably really the right thing to do. Why should I not? Is what I'm asking myself. I could pile up, but I think I should just take on c3 right away. It's there. Okay, rook e3 from Duke Bishop. And I'm not sure what we're both doing here. I'm still trying to do this b5 thing. I don't like c5 because of giving the square. I'm going to try. This is really turning into a positional ordeal with so much maneuvering. Okay, bishop e7 from Liebman's pawn. That looks like a satisfactory position. Rook f8. And now I think, I don't know, Shamax has gotten some nice tactics going. And let's see what's going on here. A4 from KM. And I'm just going to castle there. That's a hedgehog. I'm going to double rooks on the A file against Fierce Astro. So it feels like I'm getting on the board with a couple of games here. If I had to say, the only position that I don't like so far, I think I might have one game where I have a problem. Okay, Coffee Mate has gone. I'm going to go Rook D8 against Coffee Mate and see what's happening. Okay, Siberian feels like Queen C4 again for me. Always trying to keep his king in the middle. If I keep his king in the middle, I got to be happy about it. Okay, Chisel's gone. Pawn takes C4. I'm going to go Queen takes A4. And now against Shamax. Shamax has really come up with some weird tactics here, and I think that I might be in some trouble here. Rook to G8. I think he's really bothering me in this position. Rook D5 from Coffee Mate, so he can't get rid of that thing. Gonna triple on the file against Fierce Astro, trading queens against Moving Dutchman. Now the question against okay, here comes Coffee Mate with the king. I'm coming with my king. I'm gonna just go Knight C6 against Moving Dutchman, hoping that I can reduce some position. Kings coming closer. Rook to KM has gone Rook FD1, and I'm gonna go Knight C5. And now Bishop F1 from Jester, and I have to see what is the way to bother him here. I'm gonna try Bishop to G4. Knight takes D5 from Once in a Lifetime. Castling against Liebman's pawn. Bishop takes D5 Once in a Lifetime. And a rook offer of a trade from, then the board switched to Agornez. So Simon's been going for just about an hour. Maybe one decisive result, I'm not sure. I think I might have won one already. There was one game where the queen was hung, and I was very happy to take it on D3. So for the people on ICC around the world, I'm heading to Brazil on Friday for the World Cadet. And also then I come home for 2 weeks, and I'll probably do the September simul then. And then after that, I'm heading to Uruguay for the World Youth. So I'm really getting around here in South America. So if I get to South America, I'm looking forward to seeing my friends in Brazil and Uruguay. Okay, waiting for Agornez to move. Let me go see if I could find some other boards. Bishop Mate, that was where I took the queen. Bishop Mate says, are you looking for peace in your heart? Jesus Christ, your Lord and Savior now. Thank you for that, Bishop Mate. I really appreciate it. But next month when we play, pay attention a little bit better, okay? Because we don't want to hang the queen. So that was that for Bishop Mate. Agornez is still thinking. So that was the one game that I won so far. Okay, Shamax has gone Bishop to H6 on me, and I really messed this game up badly. I think I'm just completely lost here and need to resign. So that one, that's what you get for not being safe, right? Okay, Rook F7 from Shafkat, and now. Okay, there's a lot of stuff hanging in this position, but I feel like maybe I have to play a little defense. I got mated in the last game by accident, so it's possible that this similar fate could happen here. I'm going to go Knight C4, try and get the queens off. H4 from Duke Bishop. I'm going to go Rook A7. Okay, now, Coffee Mate wants to trade a pair of rooks. Do I want to trade a pair of rooks? Let's see. And if I trade the rooks, yeah, I think I'm going to trade a pair of rooks. Liebman's pawn looks like a very equal type of position. I'm going to go Knight F5, maybe take that bishop off at the right moment. Bishop C1 from Once in a Lifetime. Snatching a pawn on A2 seems a little bit ridiculous. So I'm just going to go rook to e6 and try to use the only open file there is. Okay, knight b5, d4 from Moving Dutchman, and the question is here: when will he take the pawn on? When will he take the pawn on c6? Is the next question in this game. He will win that pawn, and then I have to see what kind of compensation can I get. My problem is my bishop. If it was playing the game, I think I would be okay. So his lonely d pawn but it's lonely, but at least it's there, and which is more than I could say for my c6 pawn. So I have to see what kind of thing can I do here. So when I lose this pawn, I want to make sure I get some compensation. I'm going to try rook to c8. Let's see what's happening. Coffee Mate's gone rook takes d3. I think I'm going to try rook to a5 to tie him up. Jester's gone queen to d3. And now, do I want to take on f3 and then go knight g5? Or do I just want to take it easy here, maybe go knight g5? All right, I'm going to go knight g5. I feel like I have some attacking chances there. Chisel's got knight d6 check. I'm going to go bishop takes d6. And now queen c2 from Fierce Astro, and I'm going to trade the rooks on a1. I'm going to trade all of these pieces against Jester. That gives me a good knight versus a bad bishop position. I'm going to start to come up with my king against Coffee Mate. Now, c4 once in a lifetime's forced me to trade the bishops, but then he's got a backward pawn. And I'm going to try and break up Lieben's pawn by breaking up Lieben's pawns. I don't know what I just said there, but it sounds good. All right, trading on f3 looks good. What's going on here with Chisel? Can I just go queen a1 check and take a rook? So far, I've only played one game like a moron, and I think I was winning that game, but Shamax played a nice cheapo on me. So, all right, now we got a rook to c3 from Coffee Mate. And now, how do I want to do this? Do I want to? I'm gonna try rook to a4 and start to work on his pawns. KM has gone bishop takes knight. I'll go pawn takes. Let's see. Here we go for Agarnez with knight c4. I go knight to c7, and Cybernian has played f3, protecting his pawn, but he still can't castle. So now I'm going to try to bother him with knight to d7. All right, now here's the big question from in the game with Coffee Mate. Can I go king to d5 and just try to get him into a zugzwang type of deal here? All right, rook takes f3 from once in a lifetime. I'm going to double rooks on the e file. Jester's gone queen h3. I'm going to go king to h7, playing it safe. If I can't mate Jester, then what I'll try to do is just maybe take some pawns. Okay, ears, that looks like a good move. Knight c1. I'm going to try rook to b8. Now, knight to d1 from Shafkat. And do I want to take on e3? All right, let's take on e3 against Shafkat. Try and trade down some. Coffee Mate's gone f3. I'm going to start to move my pawns up on the other side so that if he starts to take him, he's not taking too many. g5 seems right. Shafkat has gone knight takes e3. And now this is another dangerous position here. What's going on? I feel like I should trade a pair of rooks. Knight d4 might be interesting also. I just want to trade some pieces here. What about rook to a7? So rook a7. I'm worried about some doubling deal here. So I need to develop. So I don't know. I'm looking at knight to d4 takes, queen takes, and I have to figure out a way to develop in this position. That's my problem. Okay, what about if I take on? I don't know. If I take on e5, then I have to be concerned about getting mated on f8 sometimes. Pretty interesting game, actually. And I got to see. I'm behind in development. If my bishop could come out, I would be happy. Now, what's going on here with if I play something like knight to d8 to get rid of his rook. Is that nice, or can his rook stay there? This is the big question here. So, what to do here? Knight e7, trying to put a knight on f5. Queen takes. This is I don't know about queen takes g5. I'm afraid. What I'm really afraid of here is the tripling on the file is what's really bothering me. So, and he might have some sacrifices happening on f7. So, the first thing I'm looking at is rook a7, but I don't know. I don't think I'm happy about that one. So, do I want to go knight to e7? I think I'm going to try. I think I'm going to try knight to e7 and see if I could get over there. It's a very tactical position. Okay, now we figure that moving Dutchman will take this pawn at some moment, and I'm going to just get my bishop out there. I'm trying to lose this pawn in the right moment and gain some counterplay. Okay, g4 from Duke Bishop. And I was playing for b5 here, but now I feel like I should go queen to d8 and slow him down on the other side. Okay, now Lieben's pawn, it seems like I'm working on Lieben's pawns with rook to, it takes a5. Let's see, bishop h3 from Fierce Astro, and I'm happy to trade a pair of rooks. And queen f3 from Shafkat, and I'm going to go knight to f5. And I'm hoping that put an end to his stuff. I'm not convinced that it did, though. Okay, now we have queen d3 from KM. I'm happy to go rook d8 there. And g4 from Coffee Mate. And now I have to see when can I take these pawns with him. So I'm looking at, I think I'm just going to go h6 and get another pawn off the back. So that when the pawns start being taken, then it's going to be okay for me. All right, I'm going to go knight d7 against KM. I think I like my position there. Let's see what to do here against once in a lifetime. Rook to e7 type of stuff. Rook to e2. Something. I'm going to try rook to e2. Looks like something to do. I think I'm better there. It's not very easy. Coffee Mate has given me the d4 pawn with check, so I will take it. And the board switched suddenly. I hope I didn't do a mouse slip. And let's see. So I'm going to go rook to a8 against Fierce Astro. And let's see what's going on here against Hibernian. I'm going to go knight to c5. I think I have nice pressure there. Okay, let's see what to do here against Jester. Against Jester, I think I'm going to start to retreat my queen. I feel like I've accomplished a lot here. The proper trade of bishops. Okay, pawn takes pawn against HQY. And HQY is thinking a lot. And I'm thinking a lot because the boards haven't been popping up. So let's see what's going on here. Rook takes b8 from Cyberni, and I go rook takes b8. Rook takes f5 from Shafkat, and I will go pawn takes f5, and we'll see what's going on here. And am I defending myself, or is something bad happening? What's he up to here? Trying for a little defense. G4 from Lieben's pawn. Okay, and now where do I put let's see. I don't like knight h5, knight h4 scares me. I'm going knight back to d6. Very good play from Agronez, trying to stick some knights into b6. So I'm going to go knight to b5. He's going to stick knights in b6. e5 from KM. I'm going to relocate my knight. Okay, now let's see what's going on here against moving Dutchman. Am I getting some nice counterplay? I guess against Fierce Astro, I'll just trade the queens, and that should about do it. G6 from Shafkat, and I'm going to take that. Trade rooks against Fierce Astro, and Fierce Astro is in some trouble here. Now I'm just going to go after his B pawn. Okay, knight to b4 against HQY. Trade queens, take back with the knight on HQY. Queen C2 from Lieben's pawn. And I feel like I should go rook to A8 and double rooks on his pawn, on his A pawn. Now, against moving Dutchman, what do I want to do here? I'm trying to bother his pawns. Do I want to leave more stuff on the board here is a good question. All right, I'm going to try to trade some rooks and then see if I can get some plays to try to bother him a little bit here. Okay, HQY. The way I'm playing against HQY is a pretty good way to play against the Smith-Morr and the other things, you know, and the C3 Sicilian. Okay, now let's see what to do here against moving Dutchman. I'm going to go bishop to D3 and see if I could hassle on his D pawn, like he said. KM 1883 playing well, solid game. Once in a lifetime, I think I'm going to go bishop to D4 and see if I could just do something to him there. HUY coming out with knight to C6. Fierce Astros hanging pieces, and I will take on E2. Sorry about that, Fierce Astro, but as they say, it's business or something. Okay, now I'm thinking against Jester to see if I could maybe go after his pawns somehow. So I'm going to try to see. I'm going to go Queen E8 and see if I can work on some pawns. Okay, Knight C5 from Shafkat. What's he trying to do here? I feel like I'm just up a lot of material here. Can I go King to H7? Just safety first. Can I go Bishop to G5 against HQY? Let's see what's going on here. Is that move greedy? I'm trying to come out fast. Knight to D6 from moving Dutchman. All right, and I'm going to go. Okay, now is he trying to trade rooks? All right, I'm gonna go rook to B8. Maybe I'm okay here. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm okay. We'll see. Now, against Shafkat, don't want to get mated by accident as in the other game that happened to me. So rook to A7 feels like a good defense. Let's put some stuff over there. Once in a lifetime, I feel like I should be doubling rooks on the E file to bother him. Okay, now Cybernian, boy, this is big pressure. What if I just go rook to B3? This is the Benko Gambit nightmare for white. I think that Cybernian's in trouble. Okay, now what's happening with Fierce Astro? Fierce Astro is in trouble also. And let's see what's going on here with Shafkat. Shafkat's going to attack my queen. There is already a one queen hang in this today. So I'm going to play nice and safe with queen back to F6. I think if I play defense there, I'm going to win. Okay, now what do I do against Lieben's pawn? I think I'm just going to go queen to A7 and triple on his pawns and see what happens at the right time. Okay, G4 from Jester. And now, against Jester, I'm wondering if I could go zipping around here. Would really like to go queen A4 and take some stuff, but I wonder if I'm worried a little bit about, I don't know, am I worried about G5? I think I'm going to go on some pawn mission here. Okay, let's see with Fierce Astro. We got him pinned up. Looks good. A4 from once in a lifetime. I'm not too concerned about that. I'm going to double on the E file. And now rook C5 from moving Dutchman. Getting some play here against him. Getting some play. Okay, now he wants that pawn. If I go rook to D8, he trades. Now, yeah, rook to D8 maybe is a good idea for me. I'm trying there. I'm working on some stuff, seeing what happens. Okay, Bishop C3 from HQY. I just go E6. It looks like that game's moving along a little bit better. We were really stuck there for a while. Queen D8 from KM. KM is playing extremely solidly. But let me see. Then his knight will come to D3. I'm going to try queen to C7 just to keep him tied up. Okay, now we got to see here against Jester. I'm going to go queen takes C4 and see if I could snatch some pawns and then bring my queen back. Knight B6 from Agornez looks like a good move. I'm going to go now. I think I'm just going to pop into D4 with that other knight and see. He's really clogging me up here. Okay, knight to b7 from moving Dutchman. Now, so that's a good move on his part. He's trying to get two pass pawns now. So, and then I have to see if I'm getting some kind of counterplay against his king. Okay, now let's see what to do here against KM. Would be nice if my bishop somehow could come around and bother his pawn. So I'm going to try bishop to f8 and see if I could get some work going there. All right, now let's. I'm going to threaten mate on moving Dutchman. Pawn takes pawn from Jester. Once in a lifetime has pinned me, and I'll just go king g7 and unpin. Fierce Astro is almost mated. And now let's see what to do here against Ears. Am I brave enough to put my queen on b4? I think I am. Okay, now let's see what's going on here against Jester. Jester's going king to h1, and I'm going to play safe with rook to g8. Knight g4 from Shafkat, and I'm going to go queen to d4 check. Knight d2 from HQY, and I feel like my position is safe there, so I'm just going to go bishop to e7. I got Shafkat to go backwards. That's a good thing. And now, let's see, do I want to just go rook to f7, play more defense there, and looks like mate against Fierce Astro. Thanks for playing Fierce Astro, and that was that. Okay, so bishop b3 from HQY, and I'll just castle kingside. Queen f5 from Jester. Okay, now is Jester's queen d7 going to bother me? Is a good question here. I have some nice stuff going here. Looking at queen to f3. Rook g7 would be the safe move, of course. All right, I'm going to go queen to d3 and see if I can get my queen there. We have moving Dutchman has gone rook c1. Now I have to see if I could tie him up a little bit here. Let's see. If I go bishop to d5, what's happening? Rook to b4 might be a nice way to try and tie him up. I mean, I'm always scared when the opponent has two pass pawns. Always scared. So I'm going to try bishop to d5 and see if I could tie him up some. Okay, we got Shafkat's attacked my queen. And I'll go queen a1 check. I think my queen could defend from long distance. Okay, now, the Duke-Bishop game has incredible maneuver. But can I snatch a pawn on h4? So I snatch a pawn on h4. We're going to see if I can snatch a pawn on a4. Now I'm going all the way back with my queen in the Shafkat game. And then I have to see what's going on. Knight to d5 from Ears, and I'm going to trade knights on d5. I think I'm okay in that position. Now, what's happening here against HQY? Let's see. At what moment do I want to do something here? I'm thinking of working on, I'm going to try knight to d3 to work on his e-pawn. Let's see how that one goes. All right, knight c4 from moving Dutchman. And I'm really trying to hassle him here. I'm going to try rook to d3 just to bother his pawns. Here comes Shafkat again, bothering my queen again. I'm going queen d4 again. I want to make sure I don't repeat the position because I think I'm winning pretty easy here. Okay, he went back. Now I'm going to develop with bishop to d7. Okay, bishop takes f4 from Jester. Now, what is this about? What is going on here? I'm going to go queen to f3 check. Okay, moving Dutchman. Now, moving Dutchman, I want to see if I could if I could create some kind of position where I could keep him tied up. So, let's see what to do here. If I go bishop takes and then rook moves, he maybe pushes his a pawn, so I want to tie him up, but he's got two pawns. Maybe he can push them. Also, my king, I think I'm going to try g5 and see if I could keep his king pinned in there. All right, what's happening with Lieben's pawn? He's gone a4. His idea is that if I take on a4, then he probably gets to take on b7. Okay, so I'm going to go knight to c8 and see if I can work on his pawns from some more with maybe the knights. All right, now Jester has gone king, moved his king, and now I feel like this one is almost over. Can I? Is my best move rook to f8? Let's do rook to f8. I think that one looks good. Okay, king h1 from Shafkat unpinning. And I finally, I really like my game here. I think I'm going to go bishop to f6 and unravel myself. And now rook f3 from Once in a Lifetime. Any kind of mating ideas here? If I go rook to the bottom, what's that? Does that make some threats? Rook e1. Okay, here comes moving Dutchman's a pawn, and now I have to see if it keeps going up. What's going on? Do I have any chances here? Let's say I go rook to c3, and he keeps pushing his pawn. So I got to be a little careful. I'm gonna go king to g7, and g4 from km, and I'm gonna try g6. Okay, bishop a3 from Once in a Lifetime, and now is mate coming here? Rook g1 check. Ears. What happened here, Ears? What has happened? Ears traded queens on b4, but now I can take back with a knight, and I think I've just won a piece, right? Oh, Ears, that's too bad. I'm sorry. I think you had to take back there. Also, the opening was very difficult. I mean, I like that opening for Black. Kasparov used to do that. Okay, now let's see what moving Dutchman is doing here. He's coming up with this pawn. And now I have to see, is there any way to bother him here? If I take and go rook to a3, he's got two of them. Then he goes rook to b6. And then I go king e5, he goes c5. And I don't know. I'm gonna try bishop takes c4. I'm not happy about it. I was looking to see if my rook could show up somewhere and try to mate him, but I really don't see how to do that. Bishop to e4 or something like that doesn't seem right. So I'm going to try bishop takes and then rook there and see what happens. Okay, bishop a7 from Liebman's pawn, and I got to move my rook back to a6. Okay, bishop to g. Now, what's happening here with KM? KM is coming up with some stuff. I'm going to go bishop to g7 and see what happens there. I mean, back rank stuff, check from Jester, and I go rook to g7, and I think Jester's in trouble there. Bishop g4 from Agranez looks like a good move. I'm going to go knight takes b6. Let's try rook a3 against moving Dutchman. And now, do I go bishop takes pawn against bishop takes knight against KM? Let's see if that pawn on f6 is bothering me. All right, now what's going on here against Jester? Ears against Ears. Sorry, Ears says, "Darn, I lost count." Yeah. All right, now I just want to be nice and calm here and come out of this up a piece. What's the way to do this? I think I should probably just take on c5 and mate for Once in a Lifetime. Queen takes f2. I'm bringing my king up against moving Dutchman. Do I have drawing chances there? I'm not sure. Okay, what's happening to Shafkat? Shafkat, I feel like there could be some queen trade business happening soon. Do I want to continue to play safe? I'm going to go rook to g8 and make sure nothing happens. Okay, Agranez has taken with the pawn on b6. And now I have to see what to do here. I'm thinking of going f5 just because I want to get my bishop to b5. Okay, now queen f4 looks nice against KM. Let's see if I can bother him. And looks like mate against Once in a Lifetime. Okay, now knight takes f4 looks like mate against Jester. So some results are coming in here. All right, king e5 against moving Dutchman. And I don't know if I'm drawing that. I mean, I'm good at rook endings, but we got to see. I'm not sure if I'm drawing that. Okay, now, did I win the exchange against HQY? So it looks like I'm up a piece against Ears for one pawn. I got to say I'm happy about that. Seems like the simul is moving along pretty well today. All right, now let's see what Liebens pawn did there. Liebens pawn came up with an interesting idea. Now do I have to be careful about this? I'm going to try bishop to d6 and get rid of his bishop. Okay, now let's see what's happening here against KM. I don't want to get back rank mated. Maybe knight d4, knight takes, queen takes g5 is something I need to look at. Okay, I'm going to try it. It looks good. Okay, here come the sacrifices from Shavkat. Knight takes d5. I feel like I should just take that back. Okay, moving Dutchman has gone rook to d6. And now it would be nice if I could snatch a pawn here. I'm looking at rook a5. What's going on here with rook a5? Let's see if we could take some stuff. Queen takes g5 against KM. Pawn takes f5 against Agarnez. I'm banking on the fact that my knight is doing a good job there. All right, now, if I was crazy against Shavkat, I would go queen takes d5 and get a lot of pieces. But that seems a little bit much. So I think I'm going to try bishop to e6 and see how that looks. Okay, king g2 from moving Dutchman. And can I go rook takes c5? Queen e4 check against Shavkat. Looks like that move might wrap it up. Let's see what to do here against KM. I'm just going to take... now, I have to see, is there anything fancy here? Do I want to check him at all? No, I think I take on d4. Looks good. Okay, we have pawn. Now, I think I saved a draw against moving Dutchman here. Just rook to a5. Looks like I'm going to be okay. All right, Agarnez has gone bishop to f3, and I'm going to go bishop to d7. I really would like to get his knight out of there. Liebens pawns, I'm still working on his pawns. Okay, moving Dutchman has gone a7, and I feel like I should just go f5. Yes. And let me see if I can make a draw there. Okay, now let's see what's going on here with KM. This game has gotten really messy all of a sudden. We're all gonna have passed pawns pretty soon. I don't see a way to defend this pawns. So he's going to get past pawns, and I'm going to have past pawns. I'm going to go h5, and then he's going to take, and then we got to see what's going on here. It's getting exciting. All right. Agarnez has gone rook to e1, and I'm thinking, do I just want to defend my pawn? Let's see. Bishop to b5. I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm going to go bishop to b5 and defend the pawn like that. We have Liebens' pawn has gone knight e5, and I'm going to take on e5. I'm still working on taking that a pawn. That's really taking me forever, and I'm not convinced that I'm even going to take it, to tell you the truth, because he might protect it with knight to b3 at some point. All right, I'm going to go knight takes e5. Tricky move from moving Dutchman, threatening rook to b5. I shall just go back to f6. I think I can make a draw here. Knight to b5 against Liebens' pawn. Knight a5 from Agarnez, and I think I should take on b6. He'll take on e7, but his knight on a5 is really badly placed, so I think that's going to give me an okay game. Okay, moving Dutchman's coming up with his king. And now I guess I want to box his king out and then try and get my pawns up there in case his king comes all the way over. Okay, let's see what Liebens' pawn is doing. I'm going to go queen b8. And now here we go with the KM game. This one now, do I want to go, am I trying to make queens or am I snatching pawns? I'm going to try to take on f6. My d pawn is a little bit further than his, so maybe that allows me to do it. His king is closer to my pawns though, so that's another story there. Okay, looks like Lieben's pawn. The Lieben's pawn game is just becoming very drawish, I think. The only thing that could bother him is the fact that his king is open, though. That could be a real situation. Okay, Duke Bishop. Back to this game. I snatched a pawn, and now I have to see what's going on with my pawn snatch. I'm going to go knight to f8 and see if I can play a little defense while bothering him. And now moving Dutchman's king is coming over. And yeah, I think probably this should just be a draw as long as I don't fall for something. So I think pawn to g4 feels like the right move. I know I can never take the f2 pawn, but I've got the king cut off, and I should be able to make a pass pawn. Maybe even moving Dutchman has to be careful that he doesn't go bananas here and run his king to the queen side, and then somehow I take on f2. So moving Dutchman has to be a little careful about this. All right, I think I'm going to come up with my king to e5. I don't think that hurts anything. Rook takes e7 from Agarnez, and I think that I want to go get rid of that rook as fast as possible. Rook to e8 looks okay. Let me see here. Lieben's pawns. Now, I guess I'm going to throw my queen out to h4. I think that this game has turned into a pretty solid game for both sides. Thanks, everybody, for playing. That Simon's been going for about an hour and a half. It's a good, seems like everything is going good here. And let's see. So I think one bad loss. Okay, now let's see what's going on here with moving Dutchman. I guess I'll go king to d5. I mean, it probably should be a draw here shortly. But I don't know. I mean, if I got my king to e4 and drove his king back, I still think it's probably a draw. Then he can start bothering my pawns and trade the a pawn for one of those pawns, and that should just be a draw. Knight c5 from Lieben's pawn. Okay. And I guess, do I just want to go rook to a7? I don't want to take that a pawn and give him the b pawn. Rook h3 from Duke Bishop, and I'll go queen back to e7. Now, queen back to d8 just in case my a7 rook is needed to defend. Possibly f6 idea at some point could be something, or maybe even f5 in some case. And we'll see. The f5 might be more forcing, gives them a choice, but so I think that I think I'm okay here, and I'm up a pawn, so we'll see what happens. f5, no, I don't see any attack. I'm very happy. My knight on f8, my bishop on h7, pawn on h6, g5's held up, f5's held up, and I'm going to just see if I could do something on the king's side. I think defense on the king's side, or combined with maybe opening up the king's side, should be the right thing to do. I think I leave the queen's side alone. No more b5s, no c5s, just regular kind of moves here. And see if I could just play like nothing happened and be up a pawn. So Duke Bishop's thinking. Let's see what else we got. Agarnez is thinking. Maybe everybody's thinking. Cybernian. That was Cybernian resign. Yeah, I mean, Cybernian, it was a Benko gambit. He went b6. I think his position was good. But then something didn't go right there because he never got a knight to b5, and I kept him from castling. And you could tell in the final position that there's just too much pressure. I'm threatening to win a piece. He can't go rook c1 because the knight takes. So that was against Cybernian. Okay, Agarnez has gone rook to b7, and that leaves me not much choice. It looks like I have to go. Although, do I want to take knight takes f3 and then he's going to take back with a pawn? Then his king is looking weird. I think I'm going to go knight takes f3 while he has to take back with a pawn. Okay, moving Dutchman is his king is coming over, and I'm going to go e5 and try and get my king in there also. Okay, knight takes b7 from Lieben's pawn. Okay, interesting move. And now if I go rook takes b7, he wants queen takes c6. Okay, I'm going to go rook takes b7. I have to do that. Here comes g5 from Duke Bishop, and I'm going to take on g5. Agronez has recapture on f3 and queen d8. Looks like I have to do, but I think I'm okay. Here comes moving Dutchman's king, and here comes my king too. And queen takes c6 from Lieben's pawn. And now let's see what's happening here. Am I okay here, or has he got some tricky stuff going? Okay, let's see what to do here. He's come up with a nice idea, and now I have to see if I just protect. He's got a6, and then I protect. Let's see. So, all right, let me double my rooks and see if I could get out of this. Knight c6 from Agronez, and I guess I just do I just zip my queen out to h4? Looks okay. Trying to make an attack. Moving Dutchman has bothered me, and my rook, and now my rook gets to go backwards. Where should it go? I think it should go to a6. Okay, queen e4 from KM, and now here we go with the pawn race. We're going to see whose pawns are faster in this kind of position. I'm going to go e5, get those guys going. Moving Dutchman's king is coming up. And now I'm looking to see if I could just go king to f3. I don't see where now he goes rook takes e5. I take on f2. That seems like the right thing to do for me. And I think that should achieve the draw. And it was a hard draw here too. Okay, now what's happening here with Duke Bishop? Duke Bishop's going queen h5, and now what's his idea here? I think is his idea to go bishop to d3 is a good question. So if I go f5? Let's see. If I go f5 and he takes on g5, what's going on? g6. I hate to do that to my bishop, but maybe I have to. All right. I'm going to be greedy here and take another one on f4. Rook to e5 from moving Dutchman, and I go king takes f2. And I'm sorry I didn't see the draw offer. Okay, so yeah, it'll end with rook takes f5. And I will go king takes. I will offer him a draw. I'm sorry I didn't see his draw offer. I'm going to go king takes g3, and then he protects his pawn, and I push my pawn. He checks me. Lots of draw. Very good game. I thought moving Dutchman might have. Well, I don't know. I didn't see anything completely clear. I thought I did a pretty good job there of keeping moving Dutchman tied up in that game. Okay, let's see what Duke Bishop is up to here. Let's see if I can defend this. I'm snatching pawns all over the place because they're on the king's side. Okay, he went bishop to d3, and now I'm looking at f5. Really would like to connect that a7 rook to the defense. Pawn takes pawn, pawn takes pawn. My rook is coming over to g7. That seems reasonable. Let's see. While Duke Bishop is thinking, what other games are going? We got Agarnez's thinking. Agarnez's king got opened up. So I got to see, can I take advantage of it? My king is open too, but he's got a rook on b7. I think my pieces are pretty far away from his. And then I have to see are there going to be any mate things. Okay, Duke Bishop has gone knight f3. And now I'm going to try g5. Okay, here comes KM's pawns. Everybody's pawns are going here. Now, I got two of them, but how do I get them going? I got two of them, and so I want to move my queen out of the way. Time's important. I'm going to try queen e6 and see if I can get f5 in. This game has gotten very, very, very sharp. Typical queen ending, where people have passed pawns. It's not how many there are. I mean, I'm up a pawn, but I don't think that matters. It's how far they are. Okay, knight takes g5. I don't understand. Duke Bishop. I go rook to g7. And pin him. And what's going on there? And I feel like I'm just taking on g5 on the next move. Any tricks? So that was going to be good defense there. g5, one rook. So my stupid rooks doubled on the a file actually became useful at some point. Unbelievable. You know, I felt a little silly to have those rooks and Duke Bishop resign. I think that he overdid it a little bit. I think that it was a pretty equal position, and then I snatched a pawn on the other side, and then I don't know, and then I think I'm just up a pawn there. So you know, I thought the whole opening with the bishop takes knight and stuff was pretty decent for black. All right, tough game there. Okay, let's see. KM is thinking. What should he do here? Now, queen trades. Okay. Just as I said it, he offered me a queen trade. And I don't think I could take the queen trade because his king is too close. So I'm going to go queen h3. Time's important here. So I'm going to, you know, I can't afford to mess around here. I got to see if I could get my d-pawn going. And my d-pawn, if it gets to d3, it is ahead of his pawn, his c-pawn. So this is, you know, I got a possibility. I think my king is safer than his. If I need perpetual check, I think I have a chance for a perpetual check, and I don't know that he does. Now, here's a question for me. I don't think I should snatch his h-pawn because my queen is in the way, and my h-pawn is too slow. I think I have to concentrate on the d-pawn. I think the d-pawn is what's going to either win me the game or draw me the game or some kind of result. Okay, king to e2. And I'm going to go queen to c3 and see if I could harass him here. I need the good thing about his king near the pawn for him is he stops it. The bad thing is, I suppose he could get mated if he's not careful. Maybe some kind of queen c2 and d3 thing could happen. All right, now, Liebman's pawn. Interesting position here. Okay, if I go rook to b6, what's happening? a7, knight takes. I don't know. Rook to b6 feels like it might be the right move, although then my rooks are tied up, and he's got this a7 thing going. If I go rook to c7, what's happening? Okay, I think I'm going to go rook to b6. I think maybe I'm okay there. Okay, let's see. Here comes KM's pawns. I'm going to go queen to c2 check. Where does he go with his king? Now, like I said, I have perpetual check chances if I need that with queen f5 and queen g4 and queen d1. So I think as far as the draw goes, I think I'm safe with that. If his king goes to f1, I don't know. Maybe I just push. Maybe just push and then push again, and I'm making a queen, right? So this d-pawn is nice. And I like I said, I don't think I have to worry about perpetuals. I suppose if I wanted to be safe, maybe there's a snatch on A4 in some kind of case. Okay, king back, and now what's happening? Okay, E2 threatens mate. D3 threatens mate. I think that KM is in trouble here. Threatening queen E2 mate and threatening also to maybe make a queen. Yeah, I think he moves his. It's going to be queen E2. I'm going to make a queen. It turned out my king was very safe there. Interesting game. Let's see. I felt like I felt like when I went knight d4 that I was probably winning this position because this pawn's further up, and it was the right thing to try to snatch on b7. I don't know if there was another way to handle the race. Early in the opening, it's probably pretty equal. Okay, let's see what Lieben's pawn's doing here. I go rook takes. Rook a3 from Agornez. That's a solid move. Now I have to see how to continue. What's the best way for me to get some pieces up to bother him here? I'm gonna try on Agornez to try. Well, is f4 some kind of idea for him? Is a question. Should I go f4 myself? I'm going to go f4 myself. That seems to block his pieces out a little bit. Okay, now knight takes a7 from Lieben's pawn. I have to do it. And then he takes, and what's going on? I have a little bit of material here. I don't know. So if I protect my knight, what's the deal here? Can I go queen to e7 and protect the knight? If I can't do that, I have to do something else. All right, I'm going to try queen e7 and protect my knight and see if I can get my knight somewhere. And if I manage to get my knight to a decent spot, then I'm going to win. So if I didn't think I could save the knight, I probably should have gone h5, and then that might turn into a draw, maybe by perpetual check or something. But I have to see here what's going on with my knight. Now, if he were to just take if he gets to take my knight, then his rooks are really going to cause a lot of trouble. So I'm banking on the fact that this knight can be protected somehow. So what should he do? So far, I think only one loss. Not bad, and it really shouldn't have been a loss, but it was a tricky game, and and it goes to show you got to follow the motto, safety first. Sometimes safety first is going to win the games. At the very least, it's going to keep from losing the games. So Lieben's pawn has to somehow box my knight out, and I'm happy to try and get my knight towards. If my knight could get to e4, that would be good. A safe place for the knight. Also, maybe I can start some kind of attack with the two pieces, and if the attack doesn't work, at least I drive him back to where he's defending. Okay, I don't think there's a lot of games left. It was a fairly fast simul. Let's see, Agornez, I just played f4. He's thinking, he's getting in a time pressure, 27 moves. He's got 6.5 minutes left. I like my move f4. It seems to kill both his bishop and on c1 and his rook on a3 as far as defensive moves go. Okay, rook to b1 from Lieben's pawn looks like a good move. Now, he's threatening rook to b7. So, what do I do to him here with this rook to b7? Can I pin myself with knight? I'm going to try to go knight c8 and pin myself, but maybe he won't be able to coordinate his rooks. Let's see about that. Okay, Liebman's pawn has gone rook to there. And now I'm going to go queen to c7. He pinned me, but now he's got to figure out if he could coordinate his rooks. Okay, he put the other rook on b7. I'm going to go queen to c2. And now let's see what he can do to me here. He's going to come up with some rook. Let's see. He maybe tries to double rooks on the 8th. I'll move my king out of the way. Okay, yep. And then he did this, and now, okay, and now I move my king out of the way. King to h7. All right, let's see what's going on here now. Okay, he's h4. He's trying to pin my king in there. Okay, now I don't want my king pinned in there, so I have to see how can I bother him now. H5 can I do? Let's see. If I go queen to g6, that's trying for a draw. Maybe that's not such a bad thing. Queen e4 check. Also, maybe trying for perpetual check might really be the right thing to do. What's going on with my knight here? H5, not so sure about. Queen g6. Okay, queen. I'm going to just go queen to g6 and try to be safe about this. And that seems like the right thing, because on the previous move, I was a little bit concerned with the rook takes f7. So we're going to see. I think that he did a good job of boxing my knight out there. I didn't see a way for me to do something. I was actually afraid of rook takes f7 and maybe he doubles rooks on the 7th and then tries to take g7. My knight really wasn't finding a good place here, so I think that this queen g6 thing, trying to make a draw, is probably the right thing to do. So it's fun sometimes to play the black pieces and get some practice with the black pieces. So let's see. Only 2 games left. Let's see. Brian Wood just didn't pay attention, got his knight down there. I mean, I think Brian, you got to be careful with those. It's the Grunfeld with the bishop on c1 is what it becomes. And getting the knight on e8 didn't seem such a good idea. Okay, king g3 from Liebman's pawn. And I'm going to go h5. Try and open up his king here. Queen takes g4 check is it looks like a nice threat. He played f3. Okay, I'm very happy to take this. Just trying to open up his king. I don't know. I mean, it's probably his rooks are uncoordinated, but with the f7 pawn happening, I really don't think that I'm playing for a win here. I mean, he takes the knight. I get some checks. I might be able to win some pawns, but as far as the win goes, see nothing fancy with nothing fancy here with h5. No. So. Oh, whoa, f4. Oh, now I didn't think of that one. Now I don't know. Am I trying to win now, or what's going on here? Okay, I'm looking at queen to e4. Queen to e4 seems to have quite a few threats all of a sudden. I think I'm threatening queen f3 looks like the big one, doesn't it? Oh, all right. So it's got to be queen f3. Let's see. Am I trying? Let's see. Do I make a queen here? I'm trying to see. All right. I'm going to go g3. Not much choice. King has to come up. It's either queen f2, it's going to be mate on h2, or I push a pawn. Yep. Lieben's pawn had to, there had to be something. I mean, I thought a couple moves ago, if somewhere around here, okay, it should be, let's say it should be takes on h2, and then I take on g4 and go queen e4. I mean, I'm going to get some pawns, but with the rooks doubling on the 7th, I don't know. Maybe a draw was going to be the correct thing. Okay, Agarnez resigned. Yeah, I mean, my rooks are just going to get into the position. I think I'm going to play something like rook f5, and he's just going to get mated. Let's see, and KM. So I guess that's it for the simul. Good simul, guys. Let's see, are all the games done? Looks like it. And won the rook, one loss, and pretty good simul. Now let's see here. What's the final score? 18 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss with the black pieces. Sometimes I do pretty well here with the black pieces. So thanks everybody for playing. I really appreciate seeing everybody every month. I'll be going to Brazil on Friday, and I'll see everybody in September. So enjoy the chess. I'm looking forward tomorrow to the rapid chess with Kasparov. I mean, you never know. I'm sure you don't know this guy Kasparov is a tough guy, as Mr. President Trump would say. He's one tough hombre. And even though he's retired, I'll bet you the guy plays some serious games. Also, people should be careful playing against his Najdorf, because we saw last year what happened to Fabiano. So thank you, everybody. Thanks, Moving Dutchman. It was great playing everybody. I hope everybody had a good time. And I will see you guys in September. Like the song says, see you in September. Or I'm not going to sing because I have a terrible voice. All right, thank you, everybody. Thanks to Sandro for taking good care of the simul, and enjoy the weekend, enjoy the chess, and thank you. And Ears, it's always a pleasure to play you, and it was an interesting game. I think be careful in those positions about castle and queen side. I had a game against, I guess I was black against Jason Cow in the Montreal Canadian Open, where it was just, I played solidly with black. He held the d4 square, and it was just a draw. Okay, thanks, everybody. Take care, and see you next month. Bye.